what do you think makes a good essay for a Chevening process? Can we list some of the things? So I'll go to Raisa. You're welcome. Raisa, can you hear me? Okay, I'm sure she's trying to figure herself out. So I think next on my list, Cherubim, what do you think makes a good essay for a Chevening application process?
I think examples are better than precepts. So I'll just give my personal
Yeah.
example. What I feel is more appropriate for this evening is one, demonstrating your leadership experience and not only limiting it to possibly positional leadership title. So showing that you are personally a leader or you've discovered your career path and that your education and your work experience matches your career path, and that if you get a master's, you can prove or demonstrate what you will do in the next 1, 2, 3, up to 10 years. In very precisely what you will do with a master's from the UK. I think that's what Chevening, in my experience, is looking for. So it has to do with one, your academics, and two, also your leadership ability, how you're able to take such an opportunity and then make the most of it. So it's a demonstration of your career path and very precise, and be able to convince them that this is exactly what you intend doing. I think for me, that's what Chevening looks out for in the essays, which are
Okay.
for.
Okay, thank you. Selena, what do you think makes a good Chevening essay in general perspective before we come to the breakdown of what you had to do personally relating your work to all the essays?
Okay, so I think basically before anybody would want to invest so much money like Chevening is investing in us, you have to demonstrate to them that you really want to do this. And how do you do that? It's through these essays. So I always tell people that whoever is reading your essays does not know you personally. So make sure that you're able to communicate very well how much this opportunity means to you, how much you really want to pursue this, but maybe because you don't have the chance to, you can't. So just make sure you tell your story to be able to convince whoever it is that is reading. Yeah. Basically.
Okay. Joel?
I think I'll take it from the part of English language, right? So just like any good essay, your essay should have an introduction, it should have a body, it should have a conclusion. And most importantly, there should be some form of coherence, because in all the things that you'll be saying in your essays, you want to prove to them that it's authentic. So whatever you are saying in your leadership, in your networking essay, should have some of its elements being reflected in maybe your career plan or why you want to study in the UK. Take it as one document, right? Take it as though you didn't have titles for the various essays and then you were reading everything from top to bottom. You have 4 essays basically, so you're reading everything from top to bottom. You need to build that form of coherence. Otherwise, it will look like you're saying different things and then you just want to tell them a story to get a scholarship. And that does not demonstrate authenticity. And you might lose out on the scholarship. So most importantly, your structure should be tight. You should have your introduction, your body, and your conclusion. And then you should also build coherence, not only within the essays, like the various topics, but also among the 4 essays.
Absolutely. I'm learning a lot, even for my own general writing skills. Okay, so Melissa, what do you think a general essay is, a good essay in general?
Okay, so I'm going to side with Joel on this one. The fluid mechanism, the fluid way, it needs to also translate in the other essays. You get me? You can't just say something in your leadership and say something in your something else in your career. It needs to be solid. We need to know what you're talking about. Okay. And also one thing for me is everyone has a story. And the story has to be unique for yourself. Everybody has to know that yours is different from someone else. Because if you are very generic about your essay, you're not going to give you the chance. You need to be very specific, and everyone has their own story. Don't write things that is very obvious to everyone. Like a leader is this, a leader is that. No, what is your story? How would you convey it to others for them to know that yours is unique? So that's how I went about it.
Okay. Okay. Good. Eugene, if you can unmute yourself, yeah.
Okay.
We'd love to see your faces as well. So if you can put on your video.
Yeah. I think I'm getting, you cannot start your video because the host has disabled it. I think you should.
Okay. Okay.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, thank you. So again, just like everybody has said, I would focus on answering the questions. So you've been asked specific questions, 4 specific questions. Make sure your content is solid. If you're answering leadership, or if you're writing the leadership essay, make sure it is the leadership essay. If you're answering the networking essay, make sure it is networking. We expect fluidity, we expect the coherence, we want everything to flow, but you don't come writing networking essay as if it's a leadership essay, and your English has to be on point. It has to be perfect. Get the points you want to write about, get everything together, just your points down. A lot of people get confused because maybe you've done a lot of work in your life, probably you have a lot of information that you want to write about, but the essays are not requiring you to write everything. You can talk about 3 or 4 things that will actually eulogize you, like we'll talk about who you are. If you're trying to put everything together, you may not find the perfect room to put all of those things in 500 words. So first of all, put your points down. Maybe you've done 50 stuff. How many can you write about? How many do you think are more important? Or maybe the first 3 or 4 that are more important. Find out, group them, rate your priorities, and then put them there. And make sure your writing and everything is just on point. Your English, putting everything together. Yeah, so that's what I'll say.
Okay, Irene, a good essay in general.
Yeah, so in general, what I would say is that with the Chevening essay, you have to be very deliberate about it because you are competing with over 60,000 other applicants. And in Ghana alone, I think for our batch, we were about 600 applicants, and we have just about 21 of us here in the UK now. So you don't need to beat about the bush. You need to go straight to the point, and then the point should connect. Because the reader is going to review a lot of essays, and the reader must not now go and look for a dictionary to be understanding certain things that you have written. You have to be straightforward, use simple everyday grammar, and just make your point. If we have the opportunity to go into detail, you will know that with Chevening, it is talking about leadership and impact you're already making in your society. And you can represent some of these skills by using figures and achievements, percentage achievements, the number of people you have influenced by embarking on a particular project and all that. So this is what we do. You don't sit down one day and write the whole essay. In my time, what I did was that I started drafting it. Anytime something comes into my mind, I sit down and then I add up something little. I sit and I add up something little. It is not too late for this year. I think application closes on the 3rd of November. There is still some time. So if there are people here who want to apply, they can quickly sit up. It's in 4 sessions. You write about leadership, networking, your chosen university courses and why you want to study those courses and in which universities, and then your career plan. And so if anyone here wants to apply, the person can go onto the www.chevening.org, read a lot more there, and then we'll understand what we are talking about better.